Good morning. It is Kirsten. Happy Friday. Good to see you. How are you? Oh, it's such a good week. It's been such a great week. How are you doing? Do you feel like did you nail the week? Did you nail the week? I would love to know. You can put in the comments below. Let me know if you feel like you nailed your week or if you kind of stumbled a little bit and had some trouble. I always talk about in terms of when we do the challenge in the Facebook group. By the way, if you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay and where you're coming in from. I love hearing that. And I'm just going to say this every time I go live now. If you are a Canadian customer of mine, reach out to me. I need to chat with you because I have something I want to mail you. But I have to have you reach out to me first. Anyway, but I always talk about in terms of like the Facebook group, which is Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. I do a challenge every month at the beginning of the month. And the whole idea is that if you can get equipped and resourced, then you can nail that month. And then you can add months together. And what happens when you just add things together, like a train car, you just keep adding, then you just win. Okay. So my name is Kirsten Liebelt. So good to see you guys. Now we have people that can jump on that aren't like on Facebook and Instagram. You don't even have to be friends, and people find you very similar to the tickety talk. So that's really kind of cool. So I always have to say who I am. And I was raised by a type 2 insulin dependent dad. That was my entire life. And I watched I was going to say progression, but I mean, yes. Okay. The progression of the health decline. And then he died when he was 63 and I was 30. So I went on my own mission to figure things out. It took me for freaking ever. I did nothing for 20 years. Once I found out I was insulin resistant in my 20s, having babies. I was a really slow learner. Hi, Megda. Good to see you. Good morning. So anyway, slow learner over here. But anyway, but I wanted to talk to you today about what food can you eat that literally, they would say, boosts your metabolism. I'm just going to, I don't think that it really is boosting your metabolism as much as it is helping you lose weight, but there's a reason why it is. So does anybody know what that is? I would love to know if anybody knows what foods. Good morning. Great to see you too, Brenda. God, you guys are so fun. Oklahoma. That's awesome. We were in, not that this is close to Oklahoma, but we were in Michigan for the last week doing some pretty amazing things over there. That was gorgeous. Okay. So let me grab my phone here. And I have show and tell today. I was doing this for a while and then I kind of got away from it, but you're going to maybe not think this looks great, but it is really, really good. And it tastes amazing. It just is because whatever, I was setting up my stuff. This is actually breakfast for me. And it's going to be, it's 3 eggs and a chicken sausage. Each egg has 6 grams of protein. So that's 18 grams. The chicken sausage has 14 grams. This is a really good chicken sausage that you can get at Costco, Kirkland brand. Cracked pepper and Parmesan, 14 grams of protein. So 14 and 18 is 32. This is a great way to start your day. So the answer to the question, what helps you to actually be able to lose more weight? It's if you eat protein. But I want you to know why. I don't want you to just listen to what everybody says. There's so much. It looks like you're kind of breakfast starting all day. I'm so glad. My dad used to eat, I always talk about this. When I was growing up here, he is type 2 insulin dependent and he's eating Cheerios, Rice Krispies, corn flakes, Raisin Bran, grape nuts. Does anybody remember grape nuts? Skim milk, everything that's super sugar spiking. Really, really bad information coming to him courtesy of the medical matrix. Okay, let's keep moving. I'm very opinionated. I'm Italian and I'm very opinionated. Go figure. But this is really interesting. I really do want people to be educated so that you can feel like you can be your own advocate. Okay? Because this is the deal. I am so convinced that insulin resistance, because it is so prevalent in our society, not only is it leading down the road to really bad things, such as gout, PCOS, fatty liver. I mean, there's just connections. Like which came first, the chicken or the egg, but fatty liver, type 2, dementia. There's so many connections to insulin resistance. It's really crazy. Like it's very crazy. We're talking leaky gut. And I mean, the fallout of insulin resistance is really quite amazing. I think the number one thing that every female and men, but I just talk to you girls, I talk to you. The number one thing that women want to know is that insulin resistance is actually why they can't lose weight. So let's fix that so that you can stop being so hard on yourself, thinking that you're just, you just have no discipline and you're just a loser with self-control or whatever. Let's fix the insulin resistance so that you can actually lose weight, feel good about yourself. And we're going to change the lens through which we look at everything through. So I talk about two things and two things only. I talk about targeted supplementation because you literally can fix the way that your body is functioning from the inside out. Or I should say you can support your body from the inside out. And the second thing is that you can learn how to change out your food ingredients. And I'm Italian. So guess what? I really do believe with all of my heart that you can, if I can do this, so can you. So me being the Anna, you just showed up, Anna. Good morning, Anna. Good to see you, beautiful girl. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so let's talk about why does protein help you with weight loss? Like, what's the deal? Why is everybody talking about protein? This is so like, I don't know if it's come across your FYP on TikTok or if it's been showing up in any of your conversations with people on social media, but protein. And if it isn't, it will now because I said it a million times. Linda, good morning. Good to see you. Happy Friday, you guys. Is everybody as excited as I am? I mean, honestly, don't we just love the beginning of weekends? There's so much potential in a weekend. Anyway, all right. Number one reason why protein will actually help you lose weight. I'm going to say boost your metabolism, but that's not really what's happening. But I'll read through this. That's just terminology people can understand. The number one reason, my sound is off. Okay, yep. You go and come back in, Anna. Anybody else on TikTok? Is my sound off? Let me know. Anna's going to check it for me. Thank you for telling me, Anna. I sure appreciate you. So the number one reason that protein will actually help you to lose more weight, and this stems from a conversation I just had with somebody who she is literally going to be going in 21 days on a missions trip, and she has a goal that she wants to hit before she gets on her missions trip. So we were talking this morning about the trio, which are the 3 supplements. It's still off. I wonder why. Anybody else on TikTok? Can you tell me? Sounds good on Facebook. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. Yep, I'd love to know if on TikTok it's still off. What does that mean, Anna, too? Like, is it... I wonder. So I was talking to this girl who we were talking about, she's going to grab the trio, which are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. I talk about that all the time. And she's going to up her protein and do a couple of other tips and tricks so that she can actually hit a goal before she heads out of town to another country, which can be hard. And one of the tips that she's going to use is she's going to have carb blocker with her so that she can have more control over her journey. Anna, I want to know if my audio is okay, and I have no way of checking it. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going. If somebody else on TikTok hears me or is having a hard time hearing me, let me know. Pretty please, I would appreciate it. The number one reason is increased thermogenesis. So it sounds like an echo. I'm so sorry. Protein has a high thermic effect. So did anybody already know this? That when you eat protein, it's like putting oak in your fire as opposed to burning pine. So when you burn pine, Instagram sounds fine. Thank you so much. Karma, the 3 supplements are the trio. Those are, you can, on Instagram, you can look at, there's a pink highlight bubble and you'll see it says trio and then testimonies. You can look at that on Instagram and just get a ton of information and stories that I've been collecting since the beginning of the year. but it has a high thermic effect, meaning that your body burns more calories to digest and metabolize it compared to fats and carbohydrates. So this boosts your metabolism. They're actually saying it that way, helping you to burn more calories while at rest. So when you eat protein like this, now remember I said this is 3 eggs and a chicken sausage. So this is like 32 grams of protein. Try to get every meal to be a minimum of 30 grams of protein. While we were at headquarters this week for a business, the guy was talking to us about how much protein he eats, and it was off the charts. It was so much protein. And he said it's just because of the way that we have eaten, we're offsetting what we've done with all of the carbohydrates for so long. You know, with insulin resistance, we want to stabilize our blood sugar, and we want to actually feel full, etc. But when you burn protein like this, now when I eat this, I will be full for hours. And that is a really good feeling. You're not just full, you're satiated. You feel so good. I've had so many people say to me now, just by watching your content talking about these things, I just had a text yesterday. I think she said she's lost 8 pounds just listening to me, because I shifted from eating an Italian, way of eating with a lot of white bread, white pasta, etc. And I tweaked and tweaked and tweaked with the help of people like Maria Emmerich and Dr. Ken Berry and whatever. And I've been able to go from a 2X down to a large. And now she's going to get the trio, the 3 supplements, to like boost on another level what's happening in her body. And I'm like, this is going to be so good. This is very exciting. But I just want you to know that. So like protein is for a good reason. It has a thermogenic effect. Oh, okay. Thank you, Magda. And so when you have we had an outdoor wood stove for a while, you would never, ever, ever in Minnesota, sound needs to be fixed. God, I wish I knew how to fix that on TikTok. It literally says I have a good connection. I'm going to take me off of my Wi-Fi, and then please tell me if it's better. If I'm on data, if it's better. That's what I would like to know. So in Minnesota, where it gets really, really cold in the wintertime, you would never, ever, ever. Oh, that's not going to do it. Okay, let's go back in. You would never buy a cord of pine to heat your home. Pine would be equal to your carbohydrates, etc. And that's not, you wouldn't do that. You would instead buy a cord, which is like, or I'm sorry, not a cord, 10 cords. We did 10 cords for a winter, 10 cords of oak. That's what we did, because you don't want it to burn hot and fast. You want it to burn hot and slow. That's the difference between eating protein and eating carbohydrates. So if you get up in the morning and you're having Cheerios or Rice Krispies or Corn Flakes, and then you're putting skim milk on it thinking you're doing a good thing, you're not. You're spiking your sugars. It'll be burned up really fast. You're going to be hungry, probably hangry. And that's the frustration of that. Okay. So TikTok, let me know. I stopped my Wi-Fi and then I turned it back on again. Let's see if it's better. Let me know. Linda, if anybody else is on Facebook, let me know how my connection is coming in. I would appreciate that. So increased thermogenesis, same echo. Dang it. I'm so sorry, you guys. I can go out and come back in if you guys want to find me again on TikTok. Do you guys want to do that? If one person says yes, I'll go back out and come back in. So increased thermogenesis is number 1, because that is literally how your body goes. It has to rev up your engine to digest. Thank you, Diane. Thank you. To digest your Gloria. Good to see you. All of the protein. If you eat only carbs, your body goes, we're just going to use that up super fast. Your sugars are just going to go through the roof. And, then you're just going to be hungry in an hour. With protein, your body goes, okay, let's get more coal in the fire. Let's get going to really be able to process and digest protein. So that's number one. Number two, appetite regulation. Tell me if you want appetite regulation. Who wants help with their appetite? Because I know, again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to eat this 32 grams of protein breakfast, and it's going to last me for hours. Like, I might not even think about food in like tummy wise. It's not that you don't mentally think about food sometimes, right? That's another conversation. We deal with that a little bit in the Facebook group and the challenges. But my tummy won't tell me I'm hungry for a good 4 hours. That's just the way it is. 32 grams of protein, slow burn. So that's number two, appetite regulation. Number three is preservation of lean muscle mass. And I think Magda said that earlier. Yep, it helps to build muscle mass, and it preserves your lean muscle mass. So some of what this guy was talking about at this symposium, it's the wrong word, but that's okay. Something that he was talking about in eating that much protein. And he said, you don't have to work out like a crazy person. He was 57, very built, very muscular. He only has like 9% body fat. So he's speaking from a perspective of he's not doing things now to look good like he did in his 20s. He's doing things now to preserve his life quality, right? So he wants to function. And remember, when I talk about yes, and do not crave carbs, I know. And you do not crave carbs. I don't, Gloria. I don't. But when I was transitioning my foods, I was using carb blocker. So it took me time to get here to tweak until I understood this. I didn't understand this right away. So that's why I say to people, I can help you speed up your process. I can help you condense time. I can help you go faster with targeted supplements, but tips and tricks, things like that, because seriously, it's not that you don't have to figure out your food. You do have to figure out your food. You can't out supplement bad behavior. It doesn't work that way. If there is no magic in this, you need help, Gloria. I will reach out to you, Gloria, when I get off. Okay. I know there are a lot of people that do. But he was talking about how now he wants to preserve his function of life, his quality. And this is the deal. So when I took care of my mom with dementia, and she passed away last year at 94, for those 5 years that we had her in my sister's home and then my home, that was the number one thing. And he said, do you know, in the audience, he said, does anybody know what is the number one indicator of living long? You're welcome, Gloria. Does anybody know what the number one indicator about your body that will tell you how that you are going to have a longer life? And of course, we guessed a lot of things. You guess, your heart, your circulatory system, all of these things. We were guessing all these things. And the answer was leg strength. He said, your leg strength will dictate your longevity because of your muscle mass. So muscle burns fat, muscle balances keeps your blood sugar. You want to make sure that you're eating things that support your muscles so that you can have, you can protect your lean muscle mass. Number one thing that I am the most concerned about with women is that everybody has been indoctrinated to believe from the beginning of whatever, let's say 60 years ago, when we started talking about the food pyramid and all of these things that were really, they were ran by industry, not by health. And we were told that your weight is important. Your weight. What does the scale say? What does the scale say? Get a new scale, get a scale that does backflips, get a scale that does all of these things and whatever. And we keep thinking about our weight. But the truth is that your muscles weigh. Do you want to lose your muscle? Do you want to lose your lean muscle mass? Is that a goal? Just because then the scale says whatever, 145, 150, whatever it is that you're wanting. Is it okay if you weigh 145 or 150, but you've lost lean muscle mass? Well, that won't be true when you're older. That won't be true. You want to maintain your lean muscle mass. Protein will help you do that. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4 is blood sugar regulation. I don't think that people understand that if you eat protein like this, like literally my blood sugar is going to go like this. Yeah, no, that's right. My blood sugar is going to go like this for 4 hours. like this. I'm going to call on this much insulin. Boop, boop, just a little bit of insulin. Boop. Had I had Cheerios with skim milk, or I went to Starbucks and I got a sugar drink and a scone, or I grabbed a bar that is filled with seed oils and sugar and whatever, my body sugar would have gone, whoa. And so that therefore my insulin has to go, whoa. So if you do this with your blood sugar, your body goes like this, because insulin as a hormone is very excited to use glucose for fuel. It wants it. It wants it bad. That's what's trying to get it. It's trying to get it into your cells so that you have energy and you're not exhausted all the time. Okay. So it's a really big deal. Number 5 is blood sugar regulation. And we all want that insulin resistance. This is what we're talking about every day, right? Increased energy expenditure. Protein contributes to the maintenance and repair of body tissues, including muscle tissue. When you consume adequate protein, your body can efficiently repair and build muscle, which in turn increases your overall energy expenditure, as muscle tissue burns more calories than fat tissues, even at rest. So your increased energy expenditure and repair. So when you start to eat so that you can, that's right, Gloria. When you start to eat to actually fuel your body, and don't get me wrong, you guys, come on. I'm Italian. I don't mean that overnight you fix the messages in your head. It took me a few years. This is why I say I had carb blocker in my pockets for years. And I did it because we all have messages that were given to us in our childhood, whether it's as simple as being a part of the Clean Plate Club and you feel guilty for leaving food on your plate, or whether it's messages that were maybe not nice from family, friends, schoolmates, whatever. Or maybe it's messages that are now just in your brain because of society, whatever. It does take time. However, when you are able to start to view food just a little bit more as a fuel, you'll think to yourself, oh, I'm totally going to do this because I want to be full for a while. Like I've got some things to get done. And oh, that's right, I won't ache. Because when you can begin to turn back your insulin resistance, when you can begin to go into a better direction, like I used to take the line that I rep has the most phenomenal joint product. It is so good. And I took it all the time. 2 in the morning, 2 later in the day, 2 in the morning, 2 later in the day. I was super religious about it. And my fingers and my wrists, it just kept getting better and better. Like over a month, over 2 months, it just kept getting better. I took that for probably 4 years, 5 years, maybe 4. I don't want to over exaggerate, maybe 4 years straight. But then as I really dialed in certain pieces of my universe, I was using less and less, and I didn't have to, I was turning back things. My body was functioning at a higher level. So I immediately was beginning to, as I started to supplement to help my insulin resistance on the inside, I was able to decrease the amount of the joint product that I was taking. And then I did add in my food ingredient trade outs, and eventually it just went away and I don't take it anymore. I just don't need it. I actually don't take carb blocker anymore either. Like you don't have to take certain things forever. You just don't. And even with the trio that I talk about, those 3 supplements with the 3 ingredients, the one that you take 3 times a day, I probably take it twice a day. I don't need to take it 3 times a day anymore. And the other 2, it's twice a day. That's normal for me. Twice a day is a, somewhat easier schedule for people, but I was very religious about 3 times a day for a very long time. But you know what? As you begin to turn things back and your engine begins to run at a higher level, like it's just like a vehicle, you guys, just like you would treat your vehicle, just like you want to change out your oil and you want to do all these things. There's a healing journey that's involved. But then there's also a little bit of maintenance too, right? It just doesn't have to be at the same level as when you're trying to go up the hill as to when you get up there and now you're maintaining. The message was to eat sweets and carbs for feeling better emotional stuff. Yes. As opposed to thinking about food as a fuel. Yes, Gloria. And that is, I mean, that has been my life. I mean, I was so addicted to sugar. It was just ridiculous. And I feel like that was that very much came from my childhood. For sure, 100%. As an Italian family, we celebrated with food, we mourned with food. Like that was very, from a very young age, indoctrinated. And it's okay for us to recognize that those were the messages given to us, and choose to not feel bad about that anymore. Yep, that was the message that was given to me, but now I recognize that as false information, and so I just, I don't receive that information anymore, and I'm just going to do the best that I can to shift that. That's what I was doing with the carb blocker in my pockets. That's what I was doing. I was allowing myself to have social event moments where I didn't have to put myself down for wanting to partake in something that I'm working on transitioning out of. There's that whole component. This is oftentimes way harder than this, right? This is this makes sense. This is like easy. You get up in the morning, you can fry some eggs, but this is the harder part, your mind, the conversation that you're having in your own brain. And we talk to ourselves more than anybody else talks to us all day, every day, right? Like we're the strongest voice in our heads. So anyway, I hope that you got value out of that. If you're not in the Facebook group, consider jumping in. It's Ditch Insulin Resistance. You joined. Yay. Oh, okay. Got it. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And I do a challenge in there every month. I'll do another one in July. It won't be the week of 4th of July. It'll be the week after. But the idea is to get you resourced and encouraged and ready to go. And then you can nail the month of July. And then we'll do another one in August, etc. We've done 13 already, 13 months in a row. And it gives you a track to run on. And then if anybody needs information about supplementation, targeted supplementation to help your body, like if you're looking to speed up your process, if you're looking to like get a jump on, if you're looking to be more prepared for like the challenge that's coming up, reach out to me, or you can always put Trio in the comments on Facebook and I can get back to you. On Instagram, you would need to get into my inbox, and on the Tickety Talk, I recommend that you go to my page and you can either jump over to the IG people, or you can always find a, yep, see, I do that and then I get hearts on Insta. Or the hashtag sign, there is a hashtag sign answer on the Tickety Talk, and you can actually do this. You can message me like this. So just to let you know. And there you go. So again, I hope that this helps you, and I hope you have a really good weekend. And if you need anything, I'm available. Like that's what I do. Get into my inbox. All of my socials have information as to how to get a hold of me. So don't feel like you're blocked or not able to get an answer. I was on this morning with somebody who's leaving for out of the country in 21 days. And she's like, help me, let's get my life under control before I leave. How do I do this? And I'm there to be able to say, let's do this, this, and this, and get you rocking and rolling so that you can be proactive. Anybody who wants to be their own advocate and you want to be proactive, man, I am so there for you. Like that makes my heart so happy when somebody says, that's it, I'm taking my life back. I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. Karma. Once the live goes away, so will your comment. So I'm super sorry. You have to actually go into my inbox on Insta. And same with the Tickety Talk. It goes away. So that's just the way that things are. All right. Have a super blessed day, you guys. I'm going to go eat breakfast. If you need anything, let me know. And focus on protein. Minimum of 30 grams of protein every single meal. And it will help you lose more weight. Promise. All right. See you later. See you later, you guys. Need to take your life back this summer? I will contact you, Ms. Gloria. It was good to see you, by the way. See you later.